Yo, two, what it do, man? It's your boy Benji, and we are back with another one, man. This is another, I was gonna say raw review, but that would be like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of crazy for me to say because we're talking about SmackDown. So it's another raw review of SmackDown. I don't know. We back in between the ropes, nonetheless. If you're a new, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, get that like button, that chat, man. I've been trying to make this habit of trying to watch segments of these shows live. I'm trying to figure out the software and everything, and eventually we're gonna start watching the full shows live. Let me know what y'all think about that. At the end of the day, there's been a lot going on this week in wrestling. I mean, AEW's got a lot going on. This is going to be an eventful weekend for them. The WWE and AEW are still trying to figure out what they're going to do with Andrade. And the WWE is getting so crazy, so bad at storytelling, that they decided to go the AI route. No joke. So I don't know if they've already started doing the AI thing, but we're going to see how they performed on this episode of SmackDown. Now, you know how WWE is. They're going to try and do all they can in order to get our intrigue up, provide a little bit of moments that are going to draw a little bit of clicks online, a little bit of relevance, and they're going to end up going nowhere. We're all going to get our hopes up, get excited, thinking that this is going to mean something, thinking that Papa H is in the kitchen cooking, just to get disappointed. So I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm going to remain even keeled, and I'm just going to tell y'all what I felt watching the show. Each and every episode, I try to come into this with some positive vibes and try to hope for the best. Because at the end of the day, I just want to be entertained. I think a lot of y'all like wrestling. Some of y'all like movies and TV shows. At the end of the day, I try to provide y'all how I feel and give y'all my honest review. I felt like I was yapping, but if I had to talk about this episode, a little bit of a hint is going to be the fact that I had to put on the Men in Black glasses. When I put these bad boys on, I may or may not have to start forgetting things. At the very least, I want y'all to forget some things. Anyways, Cody Rhodes, Yo QB1, opens the show babbling about a few things. He doesn't plan to fight Seth Rollins again and is ready to see who will win between Jacob Fatu and Drew. Yes, Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre are main eventing. Now, I know plenty of y'all are online, chronically online. So you probably know that Jacob Fatu is supposedly injured and could potentially be out for a while. Well, he's on this episode. Why is he in this episode? Because they in the yay area. And of course, if they in the yay, logic says that Jacob wins. Because they in the bay. But I'm pretty sure Jacob is from Sac. So, I mean, still NorCal, but y'all know. If you from the bay, you know. Anyways, the championship match is at Saturday night's main event. And let me ask y'all a question. Do you want to watch another Super Cody fight? I ain't gonna lie, maybe. Him and Jacob can probably go no sell for no sell. Honestly, it kind of annoys me that WWE continues to rinse, wash, and repeat this. The big star comes out and opens the show to talk about something. I would rather you just come out there and introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are, and how you're the main attraction of the show, and welcome the crowd, thank everybody for coming out, and jump into the show. Versus you just coming out and announcing the fact that Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu are going to fight, and that you guys are going to be fighting for this title. And letting everybody know that you're no longer going to fight Seth Rollins. He's got his own problems over there. I will admit, though, there was a scene that happened backstage that I kind of enjoyed. Solo and the MFTs just decided to jump Rey Fenix while he's backstage posing for photos. Like, the dudes want to jump the line. Rey Fenix is back there posing, and Solo just steps in and says, all right, it's my turn. And Rey Fenix is like, bro, I'm in the middle taking photos. And they just start cleaning the house. I actually enjoy it, though, because it shows that these guys are just reckless. They're bullies. And they have literally been bullying everybody for no reason, so you might as well add it to the storyline that they're bullying everybody for no reason. The next match, or technically the first match, is Charlotte and Alexa Bliss facing off against Zaria and Ruca. If you hadn't been watching WWE, I'm going to tell you, if you didn't know these characters, if you hadn't been watching for years, you may not have realized who were the vets and who were in developmental. And unfortunately, I don't really mean this in a good way. This match was not too clean, nor did it give me many moments that I should care for, besides Soul Ruca just being amazing. I might start watching NXT in order to try to catch up on everything, but Blair Monroe was in the crowd in order to, I guess, distract Soul Ruca. And of course, with her catching Soul's attention, that solely opened up the window for her to lose. Now, a lot of y'all may not like it, and a lot of y'all may look at me and say, Benji, that's so undeserving. But why not give NXT women the belts? Like, obviously, I understand that some of the women that are established, such as a Charlotte Flair and an Alexa Bliss, have years and years and years of star power behind them that are able to sell some tickets, put some butts in seats, and they work with contract signings. And we're talking about trying to monopolize the belt in regards to how much you can get dollar-wise. Earning capital, I get it. You got the faces attached to the belt. But in regards to stories, something that could be compelling, I think it'd be nice to see some women from NXT win it. And then that would make sense that you have a bunch of people coming together on teams on the main roster to be like, bro, no way that these women in developmental are going to be the ones holding the title. And that could maybe formulate a couple feuds, because you're going to have a bunch of people that are going to be butting heads trying to figure out who's going to jump next in line to show these young pups how it's done, right? At the very least, it would give us something to like look forward to. The Charlotte and Alexa stuff is kind of like childish to me. It's like literally just them wasting time, because they're not doing anything with these belts. I will admit, at least Liv Morgan, at least Bianca Belair, and they made these belts feel like something. You've got two most quote unquote popular women in the WWE right now holding the belts, and none of us can really care, because in storyline it doesn't make any sense for anybody to challenge them. I didn't even know I was going to be ranting this much. I did like the Zelina and Aliester Black video promo, in which they're saying that everything that they've done is calculated and that the union of Aliester Black and his wife was inevitable. I don't believe that to be true, but I guess if he could say the day that Zelina intervened in the match, that was calculated, sure. But no way that you've been planning this since you came to WWE. Like, sure, you might have been like, hey, wife, wouldn't it be nice that me and you one time, we kind of like lined up, teamed up? But I'm nitpicking. I'm nitpicking, obviously. I mean, yeah, obviously they're married. And finally we could throw away the happy-go-lucky Zelina Vega. I think she's just a million times better as the bad guy. Just in terms of the way that she looks. She's presented a lot better as a bad guy. And she'll possibly get a recognizable theme song. This might mean something. I'm excited to see her go against people like this. Next segment we see is Sami Zayn. And of course, another week, another Sami Zayn Open Challenge. The Miz ends up answering the challenge, but we see Carmelo Hayes attack him and get some payback. They ended up getting carried into the back, and we get the return. The Mad Dragon, Ilja Draganov. Dun 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 dun. Hey, Now, this I can get behind. Finally, some good hoops back on SmackDown. Oh my goodness, Dragunov is back to save the show. And dude, I'm watching this like real time. Like, that dude like bulked up a little bit. I will say, it does seem a little bit unfortunate because now that Dragunov is back, I think we push everybody else to the wayside, right? Like, there's a bunch of guys that's kind of swimming around, wading in the water. They're not really going forwards. They're not really going backwards. They're not really learning anything. They're just treading water. Just standing right here. And one of those guys is Carmelo Hayes, if you had to ask me. This dude was supposedly one of the top picks last year and probably has won less than 5 matches. Ilja Dragunov has been gone for a year due to injury. And he's probably fought 5 matches on the main roster. Spoiler alert, he wins this match. So Mello, back of the line. But yeah, this match was really good until we get a glimpse of Solo Sikoa. And that just opens the window for a Draganov combo, finish, and win. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was hyped. I said, man, this is a good match. I'm excited for what this could mean for SmackDown. Sami Zayn might go after a world title now. Who knows? While this guy's supposed to be celebrating, the MFTs show up. And they attack. But if you notice, they have their face paint on. Remember I mentioned that they were walking around backstage beating people up earlier in the show with no face paint? It's a minute detail, but I just imagine them backstage beating people up and then going into the makeup room, putting makeup on, and they see Ilya Draganov win. They're like, oh, wait, hold on. We got to finish putting our face paint on. And we got to stop the makeup. Okay, now we can go out there. Like, just save that for, like, the PLEs or something. Like, bro, on Patreon I was watching this, and my smile literally dropped when these knockoff ghost faces just showed up. And for some reason, after getting beat up earlier in the show, this guy, Ray Phoenix, runs out to try and help Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov. They put him down, and Solo grabs the mic. Now I'm pissed. I'm just angry. Solo gets up there and starts talking about how the MFTs run SmackDown and how they're after gold. Let's think about this for a second. In the year 2025, what had the MFTs won? Have they won any feuds? How much gold have they won? Oh, okay, we can argue that Solo Sikoa had the United States title for a month. Jacob Fatu, who was a part of the MFTs or Bloodline 2.0 or whatever you want to call it, turned on Solo, beat Solo multiple times. Why are they following this guy? Why should they hold any reverence for him? They're not even family. They're not even related. And most of them have been getting beat up as much as they've been beating other people up. Majority of the MFTs have been injured in the year 2025. What does Solo offer them in kayfabe? What does Solo offer them? Anyways, things get even worse and the Wyatts show up. Did y'all remember the Wyatts were the tag team champions? Is it? Like, bro, this is what I'm talking about. This is where I get upset. If you're going to have a faction just beating up everybody, interfering in everything, let the Wyatts do that. Wouldn't it make sense that that would be their motive? Remember they just showed up and were just killing everybody? And everyone was terrified of the Wyatts? And then they disappeared for months and then just came back, and now suddenly they want to fight for tag team gold? And then they hold tag team championships and they're whispering cryptic things on the screen? Do the same thing you've been doing. I'm not even mad if they were holding gold, but they were presented as some unstoppable forces and people and something that people should be afraid of, and they were actually beating everybody up senselessly like they're trying to get the MFTs to do. Then I could get behind them, because it would make at least their motive would seem somewhat clear. They'd be here to just wreck house, destroy the house that built up Bray, or maybe the house that took down Bray or led Bray down a certain path. They're here to avenge him or something like that. It could make some sense, right? If they just show up every other episode and they just remind us that they have gold just to like slap somebody or have Mr. Wyatt get in somebody's ear. What are we doing? Like, these two don't even like match up logically. I'm pretty sure they had beef earlier in the year, maybe last year, as far as I can even remember. But why now? This is obviously going to be a War Games matchup, but would the Wyatts not need another another player, or Solo and MFT is going to need to get a woman? Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if the WWE is going back to, them type of days. I don't know about that. Second and third of all, did I just peep that they all walked out together? Charlotte, Alexa, Zaria. Okay, whatever. I'm going to just chalk it up to they challenged the vets. The vets now respect them because they were able to put up a solid fight. I'm just going to go with that. I'm not even going to worry about it. Also, Los Garza and the Motor City Machine Guns got in a fight. Los Garza lose. Backstage, we had Kianna James crash a Tiffany Stratton interview where Kianna's talking smack about how Tiffany lost and why she only offers her services to winners. Tiffany says she's only representing people because she's not good enough to get things done herself. So that's why she's, of course, letting the stars handle things. So logically, Tiffany Stratton just decides to challenge Kianna James to a match. Like, I don't know what point you'd be proving to beat the person that you said you could easily beat, but whatever. If you had to ask me, Kianna James is low-key upstaging Julia because where is Julia? Did anybody remember that Julia is the champion? It's been over 100 days. Julia, y'all get on Roman Reigns. Tiffany has fought, what, 10 times for the belt? And it's been almost a year she's held the belt. Cody Rhodes has had it for over a year and has fought similar amount of times. Julia has held the belts for over 100 days and has challenged twice. The only people working are the men that are holding the United States Championship. I'm not even saying that folks got to fight every week. I'm just saying, why are the champions appearing and then disappearing and then reappearing week in and week out? Why did you introduce the United States Championship for the United States champion to not even be on the show for the majority of the year? And then you have Chelsea Green with a perfect gimmick for the United States Championship doing anything but fighting with the United States Championship. And then remember that I told y'all that Jake was supposed to be fighting for he was supposed to be fighting for the number one contenders match. We get the cameras on him and supposedly somebody attacked him. And he's backstage spitting his intestines out. Drew McIntyre watches happen on the big screen and he asks to be named the number one contender. And then Cody Rhodes just shows up and says, F it. You want yourself a championship match? Let's do it right now. And he literally means right now. So these guys start fighting while Cody Rhodes is in his suit. Eventually, Cody supposedly snaps and hits Drew with the belt to get himself disqualified. Now, I can't say too much because I have been asking for a moment like this. I don't understand why most people that hold the title don't just get themselves disqualified because it's the perfect way for you to get out of the match and risk losing your championship. I mean, it worked though. We've seen some of the cowardly heels do it. Like, for example, I remember Randy Orton did it, where he just couldn't beat Cena. Everything he was doing, Cena was getting up, and Super Cena just kept hulking up. And then Randy's like, F this, and he just slaps the referee to get himself disqualified and keep the championship. That was great. In the moment, I was like, no freaking way, I hate this guy, Randy Orton. But as it continued onward, it really helped build the hatred between these two guys and cement Randy as an evil character. A slimy dude. But we've seen Cody Rhodes kick out of everything. Why does he have to resort to hitting Drew McIntyre with the championship belt? This is the problem. This is a moment that you're going to try and brand as, oh, is Cody going crazy? But it doesn't make sense if you just watched last week. If you just watched, bro. They were in Australia this weekend. And Cody Rhodes was kicking out of super stomps and getting thrown off the top turnbuckles. And remember the other week he kicked out of like 10 triple AAs? What are we talking about, man? Anyways, security break it up. This is the show. Now, I know I did a lot of complaining. It's just so hard to watch this with some type of continuity because they just scrap everything week after week. Which, again, I wouldn't even be too upset about. But sometimes throughout the show, they can't even keep things consistent. Whatever. Well, obviously leading up to War Games, there were some moments I liked in the show, like Draganov returning. I liked the match that he had between Sami Zayn. I guess I'd be interested to know who attacked Jacob Fatu. And do we want to see a Miz versus Melo match? Not really. I mean, if there's some back and forth that gets funny or gets interesting, maybe. The tag teams are working themselves back into TV. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it positive and just hope for next week, man. We like to rate things yay, nay, and okay. And as much as I want to remain positive, it's just really a nay episode for me. I'm probably gonna continue onward, and we're not gonna talk about it until there's some type of continuity error down the line. Which, hey, remember that episode where Cody Rhodes hit that dude with a belt? What the heck happened to that? And the only reason this show, you know what? I'll bump it up because there's gonna be a couple moments we're probably gonna look back at. Like, everybody's going to say, what happened to Jacob Fatu? He's probably going to get written off for a while, but then we get to remember, oh yeah, Jacob Fatu, he was taken out that one episode of SmackDown. What came of that? So, just for that, I'll bump it up to an okay, just because it's going to be something an episode that we're going to have to revisit. But, as you can see, my energy's gone down. And hopefully I'll just stay tuned to the next one, man. Let me know what y'all thought about this one in the comments below and what you're excited to see this weekend.